Hello Stampers and welcome to Laura's Stamp Pad. Today I'm in my stamp pad and today is actually Wednesday and not Thursday or Tuesday, and I'm posting a video, and that's because today is a super fabulous day that I am so excited to celebrate. Today is actually my 13th anniversary as a Stampin' Up Demonstrator. I am so excited. I can't believe it's been 13 years. It's been an amazing ride and I've loved every moment of it. It's just, my heart is just full. I am so happy to be with such an amazing company that's so supportive and amazing. And I love being able to share my creativity with you, with stampers in person, and with all my friends and family, and even strangers that I send some of my creations to. I love it, and I feel like it is the perfect thing for me. So, for my 13th anniversary, I thought I would show my 13 favorite things. I've done my 12 and my 11 favorite things the past 2 years, so I thought I would keep the tradition of this alive. You can check those. I'll leave a link down below for those 2 videos, so you can check those out there. And I hope there's not some overlap, and if there is, it's because I truly just love that item. I did leave out Stampin' Dimensionals, but don't think I don't love those. I just purposely left those out because I feel like you guys all know I love those, and I'm pretty sure that would be a repeat item. So I thought I would show some love to some other items on the Stampin' Up list. So as to not, show favorites or anything with the Stampin' Dimensionals. So let's get started. I have everything kind of laid out in front of me, so I hope this is somewhat regular and stays on track and doesn't get too far away. So we will start with stamp sets. One of my favorite stamp sets right now is the Lift Me Up stamp set, and that is this one here. It's in the Occasions catalog, and while I didn't really care for the actual hot air balloons that much, I love the greetings. They're super fabulous. One of my favorites that I use all the time is Sending Smiles Across the Miles. And I mean, I don't live very far from a lot of my Stampin' Up customers or a lot of my family, but to me, if it's over a mile away from my house, that's across the miles. So anyone can truly receive this card, and I really think that it would lift up their day. So I use that one, Sending Smiles Across the Miles, a lot. And then of course the birthday greeting is super fabulous, and I send oodles and oodles of birthday greetings too. So lots of great ones in that stamp set. So the Lift Me Up stamp set is my first one. By the way, these aren't in any sort of order. I'm just gonna slowly pick up things off the table until it's clear. My other favorite stamp set is this one. This is Beautiful You. I didn't super love the girls in the beginning, but I did love the greetings. Again, I'm like a greeting crazy person now. But now that I've played with the girls, I have loved them. I just feel like they're so graceful and elegant, and they just have a soft, fun look that you can add to your card, for any sort of greeting. And again, my favorite one is Life Looks Beautiful on You, and Live with Passion, Laugh Out Loud, Love Deeply. And of course I use Happy Birthday Gorgeous all the time because everybody's gorgeous, and I just want to make sure that they know that because I love sharing that. Again, with the Beautiful You stamp set, I have been doing a lot of watercolors. These watercolor pencils are super fabulous. I have been using them so much more than I ever thought. Back in the day, when I first started as a Stampin' Up Demonstrator, we had colored pencils, and I never used them. Maybe once or twice, did a class once every 6 months to a year. Never really used them. When they retired, I thought, who cares? I'm getting rid of them. They're retired. I never used them anyway. So I got these because they were a new product, and I thought I'd try them out, and I am loving them. I feel like they are the foolproof way to do watercolor. I feel like it's that fun little coloring that you can add in, and while I don't really have the patience for a lot of coloring, I do like to do a little coloring here and there, like a simple girl's dress, not like a full crazy adult coloring book. Those give me a little bit of stress because they're too much coloring. I prefer little kids single image coloring. So with these, I have actually been using the blender pens more rather than the aqua painters. So I kind of moved over to the aqua painters and was loving painting and coloring with those and using the actual ink pad re-inker ink. But then now that I've gone back to the watercolor pencils, I have loved my blender pens, and I feel like they are just super fun and fabulous and make it really easy to add color and then go back through, and you can always add more color for little like texture and dimension, or, you know, enhancing it or anything like that. So super loving the watercolor pencils, and then of course the blender pens to go through that. I almost always blend mine because I'm a dark colorer, so I'm always breaking the tips, although I have yet to break a tip. So that's another fabulous thing about those watercolor pencils. I have not broken a tip yet. And let me tell you, I'm a tip breaker. I'm the one that was always breaking tips on crayons and markers and everything as a kid. So they must be really strong lead and super fabulous. So definitely pick those up if you haven't tried the watercolor pencils yet, because they are fun. Enamel shapes. Enamel shapes are one of them. And then my other embellishment that I'm loving are these white accents. And I don't even have a full pack. That's how much I love them. Let's see if I can put these against something dark that you can see. Maybe this. The white enamel shapes. So, or enamel, white perfect accents. I'm getting them all confused. White perfect accents. These come in the different sizes you can see here, and you can see some of them are gone, and they're just that perfect like roundedness, so they're not like chunky or anything, but a perfect roundedness to have as the center of your flowers, or just for a little pop of white all over your project or anything like that. Super, super loving them, and I actually just feel like I found them like a couple months ago and have already gone through millions of packages. So how I never saw those in the catalog until a few months ago, I have no clue. But I'm glad I did find them because I'm loving them. So then enamel shapes. I don't think I can pick a specific color family, so I'm just going to say enamel shapes as a whole. I love the metallics, which are the silver and gold, and then of course each of the color families, which I have in this little box. And I just have them labeled like brights, subtles, or regals, and then at the end it's like all the like the extra packages that sometimes, you know, you'll get a little package in with your paper pumpkin or something like that. So just the extras from that, and then of course the metallics. And the metallics are kind of big, so sometimes I cut them down, but sometimes I just fold them over and put the lid back on it. And this little box is super handy for that. Of course, I've labeled it so that I don't forget. Not that I would, probably. But there's all my little enamel shapes all nice and secure in that box. Next up is my two favorite framelits right now. Framelits, we'll just say big shot dies, because framelits, thinlits, edgelets, all of those are in this category. So the stitched shapes, love, love, love these. I love that there is ovals, circles, and squares all in one set. So you don't have to buy, you know, ovals and then circles and then squares. It's all in one set. They're perfect for the greeting size. Like, I don't really need the giant ones because I'm not going to use those on a card. So perfect for any sort of greeting. And that extra little stitched edge makes it pop so much more. So instead of having to layer it or add a little extra foo-foo, which I mean I still do, but instead of having to do that, you can just use this, and it has that little stitched edge that just adds that perfect pop and a little bit of texture and dimension to your card. Love it. So I definitely am grabbing those for lots of my greetings on my cards lately. My other favorite one is the So Detailed Thinlits. So that's these here, and there are 3 of them inside. So there's this one with the little hearts that I like to use as a nice little label. This stunning one, which of course you can't see these very well, that I have had so much fun with. Do be sure to check out my blog, as I'll be linking lots of samples using a lot of these items and things like that. So this one, and then of course the little belly band one that you can see there. So I love that one. I love flowers and the details and stuff, and so those are super, super fabulous. And I no longer worry about the detailed framelits, thinlits, big shot dies now that I have my big shot die brush, because you can just pop out all those little pieces with that brush, and so you don't have to sit there and poke, 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 which was very frustrating. Next is ribbon. One of my favorite ribbons is this Mint Macaron sheer linen ribbon, which I super, super love. As you can see, this is all I have right now of it, is this little leftover piece that I thought I was going to use up on a project, so I went ahead and pulled it all off the spool and then ended up having this much left. So, you know, it never fails. Just when you think you're running out, then you're not, and when you think you're good, then you end up running out. So that happens all the time with me too. So I have this, and I am going to cry big crocodile tears when Mint Macaron goes away because I love that color, but it is retiring and we shall move on to a new color. Moment of silence for that. The other thing that I super love is ruched ribbon. Love, love, love this. And of course, you know I love pink, so I had to pick Flirty Flamingo as my favorite. But I just love the texture of it. I love how thin it is, so that whenever I use it on a card or tie it into a knot, it's not super chunky and lumpy on my project. It lays fairly flat and everything, but has that that little delicate look that's just, oh, so gorgeous. I love it. Next up that I use all the time, but I probably hardly ever mention it, especially on a video, and that is grid paper. So this grid paper, it's sold in the catalog. It's not just for demonstrator use. Of course, I do use this at all of my classes and everything. This is a clean sheet. I do reuse my grid papers at my classes to, you know, to save, and because so many of my stampers really enjoy looking at the grid papers to see what was done at a past class. You know, they'll see the greeting and think it's cute, or see a flower, probably a flower, or another image and say, you know, when are we doing that at the next class, because that's super cool. So I love that. I also love using my grid paper whenever I need to stamp off or stamp extra or practice or anything like that. Of course, when stamping backgrounds, you want to make sure that it covers more than just your piece of paper so that it looks like the pattern goes on and on. So of course, you're going to be stamping off onto scrap or the table and then have to clean it up later, so this helps. And then of course there's also the stamping off. So if you want that lighter shade, or if you're doing two-step stamping or anything like that, you're going to stamp off once or twice and then onto your project. So the grid paper is perfect for that. Of course, it's gridded out as well with numbers on there, so you can use it for measuring as well as using it as your scrap paper on the background of your project. So love that. The last thing here, number 13, is my designer series paper pick. So I'm glad that I have all the scraps in here so you can see a few of the different patterns. But this is the Floral Boutique. And I'm not a huge navy person, you know, just because I always find it's either black or navy and the two don't go together and stuff like that. But I love the simplicity of this paper. I love that it is just navy and white, and for some reason it just really pops. Just those two colors, that navy and white, if you want to consider white a color, I guess. But it's just so elegant, so perfect. I love the different floral images and patterns that are in this set, and I have just had so much fun using it. I've done a couple one-sheet wonders with it, which I know you guys all love my one-sheet wonders. And I've just really enjoyed using this paper as backgrounds, but also as just the focal point and add a greeting to it. It's really fun and simple to use. So that's all 13 of my items. I sure hope I counted correctly, and that was actually all 13. Lucky 13. I knew if I didn't make a list, I would probably forget one, and I did. And that is because number 13 is the Brights collection. So this is actually, I thought, you know, instead of picking a color, I would go with the full collection. And the main reason why I did this was because it is my favorite color collection. I always gravitate towards the Brights for sure. Of course, Melon Mambo, my favorite, and Bermuda Bay, my second favorite, are both in that color family. But that's also the color family that I always recommend whenever I have a customer ask me what color collection they should get. Of course, I always consult with them and ask, you know, are they more of a Brights person or a dark, or, you know, that sort of thing first. But I had to laugh the other day when I asked one of my customers what color collection she already owned, and she said, I don't know, it's the one you always recommend. And I knew right away that was the Brights collection. I love, love, love the Brights, and those are a lot of my favorite colors and a lot of the ones that I use the most. So number 13 is the Brights collection. Okay, that's all of them now. I'm for sure on it this time. So this is just again in celebration of my 13th anniversary with Stampin' Up. Love Stampin' Up. Love all of you guys. You have been amazing. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Be sure to subscribe if you're new. You can subscribe by clicking down here. You can also check out some of my other videos by clicking over here. I'll be posting all of these as well as samples of, using some of these products on my blog, laurastamppad.com. So be sure to go over and check that out. I'll see you all next time. Happy stamping. Bye-bye.